Hey everyone, CzechM8 here. This is the analysis for the Fathom vs Sly match at the May 31st weekly hosted by CSM. I will have a link to the original video without commentary and without edits in the description, so I recommend that you go watch that first so that you can watch through your match, kind of pick up your own opinions on your behavior, and then see if what I say aligns with it. Maybe you see things I don't, and maybe I point out things that you don't see yourself. So go ahead and do that first, and then come back and watch this video. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. So we've got Fathom playing Mario and Sly playing Bowser. Alright, so right off the bat, we see that Fathom gets a great opening and a great throw, but doesn't follow up with it at all. And those things with Mario specifically and in general for Smash 4 as a game, you have to make automatic. You have to basically turn that into automatic damage, almost like a basketball player hitting a layup. You got to get that free damage in there. So you'll see that he capitalizes on it the next time around, but still doesn't necessarily get it in the most guaranteed fashion. Right now, both players are feeling each other out, just trying to get the spacing right. And right there, see, he goes up there. He gets it, but doesn't actually get it in the way that you would normally get the guaranteed damage. So it worked out for him, and he ended up getting a lot of damage off of it. But let's say Sly actually avoided that, then that would be damage dropped off the table at that point. So that, I believe, is the third grounded up B that Sly does, and you'll see that he's almost doing it with less purpose than he should be. I really believe that you should be trying your hardest to do that out of shield or when you know your opponent has wasted their double jump, and oftentimes there's actually better options than that, like such as grab, jab, even potentially fair is a better option than that. Not out of shield, but when they've wasted their double jump. But out of shield, you have jab based on the spacing and up B, of course. But you want to be trying to do that with purpose. And a lot of the things that I say here, you're going to recognize and see that you fix and correct as the match goes by, but you don't necessarily do it at a consistent rate. So, great pivot grab. Good follow-up. And you see where you got punished on that up B. So that right there was a good punish, a good power shield punish on the get-up attack. But one reoccurring thing that you're going to see throughout the first match and the second match is going to be a lack of ledge presence. And I'm going to touch that every single time I see it happen, basically, and it'll become a repetitious thing. Good pivot grab there. Get some good momentum going. And you'll notice throughout this match, there's going to be a lot of times like right there where you have the down air on the shield where both players seem to just willingly give up stage control. And stage control is such a big deal in this game, and it's a big deal in most games as well. You'll see that stage control can change the way a player reacts and responds to a lot of your options, and in this entire match you're going to see yourselves just kind of giving up stage control willingly. So on the platform right now, gets a good drop down up air. And I see what you were going for there, Fathom, with which you're trying to get a nice guaranteed setup for a kill. But with the repeating of it, it was almost telegraphed. Now, at this point in the match, it's very clear to see that Sly is going for a shell shock, you know, an up throw, up air. It's kind of at the right percent. Fathom's trying to space it, but you have to throw in more options inside of your neutral game for both characters. Realistically, you have to be kind of earning that kill confirm or that kill setup by throwing out options that may be safe but unpredictable, or maybe explosive, or you might read an approach or might read a retreat. But there has to be more going on in the neutral than just moving around and fishing. So this is something that I see a lot of players around this skill level do. They've got a lot of the pieces together, but they're raw. They're not very polished on getting to a direct place and achieving that direct place or that direct goal, which is why in both of these matches, they last for a solid 4 to 5 minutes in both matches. That looked like it was supposed to be a jump cancel up smash, so, and it was just whiffed. So right there, read the roll, it was good, got the up smash. I don't know if you read that roll intentionally or what it was, but you still went for the same ledge option, not incorporating trumps at all, not going out there and trying to get a cape at any time or anything like that. So it worked out. You probably could have gotten the kill a lot sooner with, instead of that short hop dare on the whiff grab, maybe another up smash, or positioning him and moving him closer to the ledge so you could get a more guaranteed back throw. And moving the focus to Sly a little bit here, the same thing goes for Sly right there, where there's not much effort to punish you on the ledge or to make punishes on the ledge, and what ends up happening is stage control is just lost. And that right there was a great example of using it out of shield. Though it was still a little bit unsafe, it was still damage that you deserve to get because of a poor option on shield and also a poor option after the shield too. Great forward tilt, punishing the landing. But there, right there, you see he gets hit on shield, doesn't do anything with it, just rolls away. And this is part of the thing that I'm talking about here, where there's just this raw, unpolished like skill level that will guarantee kills or will guarantee an attempt at a kill, which then leads to Fathom getting far more percent than probably needed in this stock. And both matches, Sly ends up starting off at a deficit. So momentum and tempo has to be a big focus as well. And I do apologize if I miss anything that's good or congratulatory. I'm just trying to watch the match and just point out little things here and there that stick out to me. And that little exchange right there, while I was giving you that little speech, there was so much movement in the neutral, and Fathom was able to kind of push his weight towards Sly just because Sly was doing so little with hitboxes and hurt boxes in the neutral. But again, we let go of the ledge, so now we're almost positioning ourselves. So right there, Fathom positions himself away from the center stage at high percent, forcing him to have to find a way to get back to the middle of the stage, whether subconsciously or consciously, which then ends up resulting in Sly not only getting a good side B, but also having the range to actually reach the platform as well, because of how long the time was spent going away from the platform, then getting back into the middle of the stage. Stage control is such a big deal, and you shouldn't intentionally corner yourself if you don't have to. Sly once again starting off strong, punishing these landings, which is great. Exactly what you want to be doing. But there's so much retreating movement that you can tell that there's not really much regard for stage control. So there's these times where instead of rolling back, Sly could possibly jab again, be safe, and still maintain his presence. And throughout this, I'm sure if you've already noticed, you're seeing reoccurring ledge options, reoccurring retreating ledge options, reoccurring ledge get-ups, etc., etc. And those are things that you have to actively think about and wonder what your opponent thinks about how you're, getting on stage or what you're doing out there. It's almost like rock, paper, scissors when you're on the platform, and you have to give that a respect enough to switch up the options and also punish the options as well. Great punish, good spot dodge, and great punish on that up smash. It's about the only punish you could do in that situation. So you'll notice that right there, Fathom is off on the platform way to the right. Though he has a % lead, he still doesn't control middle stage. Both characters are in kill range at this point. So there should be so right there, Sly should be capitalizing on his options, knowing that Fathom can only do so much from the platform. So Sly goes for a very bold move by jumping up on the platform, and Fathom doesn't punish it. Is still just working his way around the stage at this point, in which Sly isn't even throwing safe options at him in shield on the platform to bait shields to catch him with anything else. So there's no fares being thrown out, safe fares. There's no attempts at reading a shield and getting a side B from that position. Everything is just moving a little bit too melodically, and I wouldn't say methodically, and there's not really much going on with buttons. So there's no respect for each other's buttons. No fares are coming out, so I don't have to hold shield. If I don't have to hold shield, I don't have to worry about a command grab because I don't have to hold shield. So there's reasons to throw things out even if they're not going to hit, as long as from a safe perspective. And right there, what ends up taking the match happens to be that unfortunate situation where what had started early in a behavior that we had talked about early became the end result as well. Doing an up B just kind of to do so, maybe reading an approach, maybe not, but ends up costing the match. So brief second in between these two matches. What I love to watch in these matches is I love to watch the actual adjustment that's made, but you're still going to see the same behaviors and the inconsistencies. So as we hop into the next match, Fathom immediately fixes a lot of his mistakes from the first match. So changing the ledge options just a little bit, gets his grabs and starts actually getting the guarantees, and you can see how much faster the percentage was racked up, right, in comparison to the first one. So that guaranteed damage is really, really important. Sly, however, is still doing some of the same behaviors, which has led to this percent. Some bad up Bs, some bad situations like that. But then gets a good up B on shield when it's actually appropriate to use. And you'll notice throughout this beginning of this match, after Fathom got all of that percent, he ends up giving up most of the momentum by not going for any more grabs. So Sly actually just sits in shield for the majority of the time and capitalizes on that by actually racking up percentage and baiting out these shield options. Great jabs on ledge there. And when Fathom finally does go for the grab, it's guaranteed. He gets it pretty much immediately. These are things that you have to look at while you're playing. You have to kind of ask yourself actively, like, how many times have I done this? Have I not done this? Where's my mix-up, etc., etc. So, and you'll see how it kind of adds up to at least the beginning of this match and the first stocks in this match. Sly getting a really good guaranteed up throw up air right there. And now the percentage gap is really closed entirely. So all that momentum is completely gone. and Sly has recapitalized using Bowser's guaranteed tools to get quick damage, and reads an approach there, throws out a really good down tilt, and just ends up getting the kill. So with all this momentum and all of this stage presence, let's see what he's going to do to capitalize on it. So unfortunately goes for the same ledge option, gets punished for it. Good job by Fathom there to just go out there and do it, but then just misses the opportunity for an easy kill on the ledge there by repeating the same behavior of running away for a brief second and dash dancing back towards the ledge instead of just hanging near the ledge and threatening, and at least putting out that threatening presence. So right now, obviously, big percentage discrepancy, so Sly's kind of playing with his back to the wall. Fathom's taking advantage of it, doing a good job at that, just getting him off stage, but he's still lasting to 200%, which is a lot. We're 3 minutes in, too. So gets a fair right there, and that fair was a good mix-up, but it would have killed regardless whether or not it was a horizontal hit or a vertical hit. But what if it didn't clank? What if he actually didn't get his hitbox off? So it really wasn't the best option in the world, but it did work. So with that being said, he did a good job at avoiding any extra credit being done to that stock. Right there, Sly throws out actually a pretty decent fair on the platform, something I would have rather seen him do last game, but it was while the platform was moving towards him. He did get a little bit punished, but still made him respect the option up there, which is important. And really what I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to show you is that there is a lack of consistency in good options or good decision making and bad decision making. And you have to polish that and refine that by analyzing what situations can get guaranteed damage, where you went wrong, what you could have done, and just making sure that you follow that type of flow chart in your brain so that you can become more consistent and force your opponents, new opponents that you haven't faced before, into positions like that, into positions where you are actually forcing them to get hit or making good bait calls or making good decisions that lead to more damage or kill setups. The down tilt on platform works there. But both players right now are just trying to get a kill. I mean, we're 4 minutes into this match now. Sly could have went for something there, tried to read an air dodge, but I still would have liked to seen him at least try to double jump back air or even just throw the back air in general. Just to show the threat of the move is a large thing here. And you see a lot of his movement is just kind of slipping and sliding, but not really threatening. And the same thing goes for Fathom. Fathom's just moving around, using a lot of Mario's safe aerials to force Sly to come in, but then not really doing too much with it afterwards, and giving up so much stage control in the process. Good up B out of shield, getting that positive damage out of that, but still not throwing any fairs up there, not making him respect the option. And even after not making him respect the option, he still gets the side B, but possibly would have gotten it afterwards and would have been at kill percent to get, had he gotten a fair in there at some point, like when Fathom whiffed the grab. It's good forward tilt, good spacing, but still both players are playing so scared of options right now that they can't even find a way to oppose or threaten. It's good back throw, good DI. And then goes for the fair on the platform and doesn't show the right behavior in any other situation with the fair to prevent that from happening. So twice there was fairs on the platform that were while the platform was moving towards him, which led to punishes. Unfortunately, that one led to his death because of the position in the back throw. So the answer is not necessarily to do it while it's going to be in an unsafe place, but trying to do it just to threaten. Because maybe at that point, you'd have been more clear on a side B option than a fair option if you knew he was doing more shielding than not. So overall, to recap on the match, both players have to work on tempo, consistency, guaranteed damage, and using movement with purpose in the neutral from the early game to the mid game and also to the late game. Ledge options have to be rediscussed, looked at, thought about. From creating the rock paper scissors game to putting a opposing threat to your opponent, and being able to capitalize on those things can also lead to early percents, early kills, and just early mind and neutral game tricks that will allow you to get momentum, keep stage control, and push forward. So that's my analysis of the match. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.